Mm. Hello, good morning, everybody. Pardon me. Certainly wasn't expecting that. Well, it's been another lovely morning in America. Yeah.
Old Mage Guy is now live. Streaming politics. Morning new with OMG.
Hate missing that ass. Anyways, let's get started. That's my cat screams.
Shop the latest games and upcoming releases at the best prices.
No Flash, I was there. You're just in trouble. Elon gets along great with Marco, and they're both doing a fantastic job. There is no clash. Who are you with? Oh, no wonder. That's enough.
Trump's cabinet is crumbling from the inside, and it's all because of Elon Musk. That's right. The same guy whose SpaceX rocket just exploded for a second time this year, wreaking havoc for thousands of Americans, is now blowing up Trump's cabinet from the inside. And all I can say is, good. It's reached the point where Trump and his team are scrambling to deny that this clash even occurred.
And you're not supposed to be asking that question because we're talking about the World Cup. Elon gets along great with Marco, and they're both doing a fantastic job. There is no clash.
When you have Trump snapping at a reporter, you're not supposed to ask that the moment they bring up this explosive clash between Marco Rubio and Elon Musk. You know exactly what that means. It means the fight definitely happened. It means that Trump doesn't want to talk about it. And it means that Americans like you and me should absolutely be talking about it. Because if there's one thing that Trump hates more than losing, it's having to explain why the people that he handpicked are publicly tearing each other apart. This is the kind of political implosion that deserves a front row seat and a bucket of popcorn. So let's keep the spotlight on it, fan the flames, and drive that wedge even deeper. According to the New York Times, Marco Rubio, Doug Collins, and Sean Duffy of Trump's cabinet blew up on Elon Musk during a heated meeting with Donald Trump. And honestly, who can blame him? Musk, an unelected billionaire with a god complex and an alleged drug problem, has been stomping around Washington with a chainsaw like he's the one actually running the country. But now, his slash-and-burn approach to running the government like one of his failing startups finally pushed things too far. It all started when Musk, the self-appointed efficiency czar of Trump's government, accused Secretary of State Marco Rubio of failing to gut his department fast enough. Because in Musk's world, nothing says good governance like mass layoffs and a total disregard for experience. And Rubio, who, let's be honest, isn't exactly known for having a backbone, finally snapped. Which is surprising considering that this is the same guy who sank so deep into the Oval Office couch during Trump advance's ambush on Zelensky that Secret Service almost declared him a missing person. So during the seated cabinet meeting, Musk went after Rubio saying, "You have fired nobody," and then scornfully added that perhaps the only person he had fired was a staff member from Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. Rubio said, "What about the more than 1,500 State Department officials who took early retirement and buyouts? Didn't they count as layoffs?" Rubio then asked sarcastically whether Musk wanted him to rehire all those people just so he could make a show of firing them again. Musk, who was unimpressed, then told Rubio he was good on TV, with a clear subtext meaning that he was not good for much else. Look, I'm no fan of Rubio, but have you ever listened to Musk speak on TV?
Yes, I have.
It would essentially, my freedom of expression.
What the hell was that?
Just look at his recent Oval Office press conference.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody can bat it down.
Or how he recently said they would make mistakes and fix them quickly after Joe cut Ebola prevention.
And I should say, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect, but when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly. So, for example, with USAID, one of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored Ebola prevention immediately, and there was no interruption.
What he just said is a flat-out lie. Current and former agency officials confirm that USAID's program to combat Ebola and other diseases have been gutted. But here we have this moron cosplaying as a government official joking about gutting the very programs that protect us from an Ebola outbreak. And it's exactly why Trump's cabinet rushed to hold a last-minute meeting, because even they couldn't take Elon's chainsaw approach anymore. After the argument dragged on for an uncomfortable time, Trump finally intervened to defend Rubio as doing a great job. This now marks the first time that Trump has sided with someone who wasn't Musk. Then, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins, went after Musk, saying that Doge and Musk should not wield a blunt instrument and cleave off everyone from the VA. They needed to be strategic about it. I mean, not really the smartest move to lay off such a powerful constituency in a core part of the Trump base, but hey, what do I know? Trump agreed with Collins, saying they ought to retain the smart ones and get rid of the bad ones. I mean, if they're looking for
Sorry
bad
about
ones
that,
to fire,
not finding the right
I've got at
language
least two
first.
suggestions from that meeting alone, but it was the back and forth between Musk and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy that got really weird. Duffy said the young staff of Musk's team was trying to lay off air traffic controllers. What am I supposed to do? I have multiple plane crashes to deal with right now, and your people want me to fire air traffic controllers? Again, I hate siding with Trump's cabinet, but Duffy does have a good point here. Musk then told Duffy that his assertion was a lie, to which Duffy insisted it was not. He had heard it from his Doge team directly. The exchange ended with Trump telling Duffy that he had to hire people from MIT as air traffic controllers. These air traffic controllers needed...
OQ Voci Tuadiza. Geniuses.
I'm a very stable genius.
And now, sadly, Elon Musk is no longer following Sean Duffy on Twitter. This entire meeting felt like a messy reality TV fight, which is fitting considering that Duffy was literally on the real world where he was known as Ass Rocket, which honestly feels like a way more fitting nickname for Elon Musk. So while this cabinet shutdown was happening, Trump sat back in his chair, arms folded as if he were watching a tennis match. And by the end of the meeting, Trump tried to put Musk back in his place, saying that from now on, cabinet secretaries would be in charge and Musk's team would only advise, which is exactly what Musk was supposed to be doing from the very beginning. When Trump announced Doge back in November 2024, he not only compared it to the Manhattan Project, because of course he did, but he also said that Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy would be there to provide advice and guidance. Just advice and guidance, nothing more. So really, Musk was kind of given a demotion, which after a month of acting like the real president, that must have stung. Because during this meeting, Musk aggressively defended himself, reminding the cabinet secretaries that he had built multiple billion-dollar companies from the ground up.
No, he
Do
didn't.
something about hiring good people.
No, he
I
didn't.
don't know if I really agree with that. All you have to do is just search for the multiple sexual harassment lawsuits at Musk's companies. Elon's attitude and behavior during this whole cabinet meeting just reeks of him being a
Pathetic loser.
If you work in front of a desk like I do, I often find myself discouraged that I spend another day sitting for long periods of time. I seriously thought this would be a lasting problem until I found Uplift Desk. Uplift Desk is at the forefront of ergonomic solutions, promoting better posture and health through adjustable standing desks designed to help you live a healthier lifestyle. Plus, they have all kinds of accessories to keep you moving throughout the day, even if you work for only a few hours at your desk. I love the Bamboo Motion Export. It gets me on my feet and helps boost my energy while improving circulation. Standing while at work gives me the room to move and helps me get the creative juices flowing. Moving throughout the day helps me focus and stay productive. I'm way more alert when I'm using my standing desk, and I have more energy. A 45-degree angle in your neck can result in up to 50 pounds of gravitational force being placed on your neck muscles. The option to move while I work promotes better circulation, which can reduce all kinds of different health risks and repetitive strains. I love how much customization you can do with the Uplift Desk. With over 200,000 configurations available, your workplace to perfectly match your style and needs, creating an environment that fuels both productivity and creativity. Make this year yours by going to upliftdesk.com/Gabe and use our code to get 4 free accessories, 3 day shipping, free returns, and an industry-leading 15-year warranty that covers your entire desk and an extra discount off your entire order. That's upliftdesk.com/Gabe for a special offer, and it's only available at our link. Start 2025 right. Stand, move, thrive with Uplift Desk. Also, let's clear some stuff up. Elon didn't build Tesla. He stole the company from the founders and then slapped his name on it. Neuralink, rushing animal testing causing needless suffering and deaths. The Boring Company dug one hole, a glorified inefficient subway, but with Teslas. SpaceX, blowing up rockets left and right, but sure, let's put them in charge of the FAA and trust them to bring back the astronauts stranded at the International Space Station. Oh, and every one of Elon's private companies is propped up by government subsidies. But yeah, tell me more about how Musk is all about efficiency. As I pointed out earlier, Trump and his team are doing everything they can to kill this story. You've got Trump snapping at reporters just for asking about it, and then you've got his #1 fanboy, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, running to Fox News to bury the story before it gains any more traction.
The New York Times wasn't in the room, so it's pretty interesting that they say they know exactly what's going on in the room when they, of course, weren't there. Look, these people, this cabinet is one. They are together and they are one. Right? Donald Trump came into the room and he said, look, I want to support Elon. We want to cut. We want to cut like a scalpel. And, you know, as Elon Musk likes to say, he is maniacally focused. What makes him one of the greatest businessmen ever to walk on American soil is that he is so focused on outcomes. And he was just going to push all the secretaries, as he has from the beginning. Let's get things done. Let's get things moving. And so the president was there saying, let's make sure when we make our cuts, we only cut fat and waste. We make sure we support and keep the really good people we have in government. Because let's face it, we've got some great people who give up themselves to work in this government, and Donald Trump wants to make sure they stay with us. So it was a good conversation. It was a thoughtful conversation, but everybody's on the same side. In this administration, everybody's on the same side.
Because nothing says this definitely didn't happen, like desperately trying to convince everyone it didn't happen. Not only did the New York Times interview multiple people with knowledge of the events, but Lutnick just confirmed key details of the reports. But you know how I know this fight really happened? The clearly coordinated PR spin and damage control online between Musk and Trump. It starts with Trump putting out a statement on Truth Social saying, we just had a meeting with most of the secretaries, Elon and others, and it was a very positive one. Then Musk screenshot posted on Twitter with his own version of corporate damage control, very productive meeting. Which in Elon speak translates to, I just got completely humiliated, but I still need my fanboys to think I'm winning. And then the White House Twitter account calls Trump and then adds some photos. And if that wasn't enough of a tell, Trump then fires off an all-caps tantrum on Truth Social. Elon and Marco have a great relationship. Any statement other than that is fake news. DJT. And just like that, Trump accidentally confirmed that the fight actually happened, because nothing screams damage control louder than an all-caps denial from the guy who insists that he won the 2020 election. Oh, and did I mention, this was all posted straight from Trump's golf course, while brush fires raged across Long Island. You know, priorities of a narcissist. Nothing says presidential leadership like rage posting about your feuding cabinet while actual fires burn. And if I had to take a guess, I would say that Rubio and his team leaked this story. And if you're wondering why, it's because he's scrambling to salvage his reputation after his embarrassing performance as Secretary of State during that Oval Office meeting between
The kitty
Trump
likes
fans
you.
and Zelensky. Rubio did
The
absolutely
kitty's not gonna
nothing. He
hurt
just
you.
sat there with his spine
She might
practically
give you a
melting
bath.
into the couch. So will Elon's
Which
demoted
one
role
you might
last,
give her a bath
or
back.
will he go back to illegally cutting programs and terminating employees? That we'll just have to wait and see.
You gonna give
But I
Kitty
can
bath?
definitely say that this internal fight will not be the last, because
You gonna give
Elon
Puppy
Musk
bath?
will be the singular thing that continues to drive a wedge between
Don't
Trump
look at me
and
like
his supporters. I guarantee that Musk is going to
Motherfucker said
destroy
what?
Trump's image and legacy. Want more What Was That? Head over to my Substack for more episodes, articles, and deep dives. Sign up today at whatwasthat.show to support independent journalism and help keep this show going. Prefer to listen while you're on the go? You can find What Was That on all your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, you name it. Until next time.
Okay. This damn thing. And now we're up to today.
Leaders are rallying their countries against Donald Trump. We're seeing national unity like never before in many countries as they stand up to the bully regime known as the Trump administration. Case in point, President Claudia Sheinbaum in Mexico, who now has an 85% approval rating for standing up against Donald Trump. And over the past 48 hours, she was in Mexico City celebrating with the people of her country. Over 35,000 people in the town square celebrating how they stood up to Donald Trump, made him back down, and did not submit their sovereignty at all. Watch this.
Our people cannot be affected by decisions made by foreign governments or hegemonies. But we are very clear that there are non-negotiable principles. We cannot yield our sovereignty, nor can our people be affected by decisions made by foreign governments or hegemonies. In that case, we will always act immediately. However, we must stay alert and informed in case it is necessary to gather here in this public square again. Do you agree?
Just take another look at just this crowd that was assembled. This is the crowd that Donald Trump wished that he could have, and President Claudia Sheinbaum leading Mexico in the face of Donald Trump's bullying tactics. Play this clip.
Damn, it turned out like it's a football game. Like it's a fucking cup. That's awesome.
We're seeing the same thing in Canada as well. I think a graceful transfer of power from Prime Minister Trudeau to the new interim PM, Mark Carney. We covered that over the weekend, but I want to share this with you as well. A former Prime Minister of Canada giving an incredible speech right here at the Liberal Party gathering over the weekend. Here he gives the United States an incredible history lesson. This was directed specifically, though, at Donald Trump and Trump's regime. Let's play it.
And perhaps, speaking of the president, it is time for a history lesson for him. Probably does not realize that in 1776, Benjamin Franklin spent a year in Montreal trying to convince the people to join the American Revolution. And he was told by the Francophone, no merci.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
And they were right. Look what happened to the French language in Louisiana. The Loyalists left the USA to come back to Upper Canada and the Atlantic. And the Francophone and Lower Canada, together they built our independent country. During the War of 1812, Americans came to what is now Canada on a mission of conquest. They were defeated by Colonel de Salaberry in what is now Quebec, and by leaders like the great indigenous chief Tecumseh in what is now Ontario. And I don't know, apparently some burned the White House at that time.
And I had also shared with you this clip, but it's worth showing you after former Prime Minister Crochet to show you Mark Carney, what he had to say as he accepted the leadership role of the Liberal Party. You're going to be the interim Prime Minister. There will be elections held in Canada soon. And now the Liberal Party, based on all the polling, is expected to win, but they're rallying the people of the country, uniting Canadians. Watch interim Prime Minister Carney, or soon to be interim Prime Minister Carney, play this clip.
No. He didn't say play the ad.
Canadians, watch interim Prime Minister Carney, or soon to be interim Prime Minister Carney, play this clip.
America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Look, we didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. The Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we're seeing world leaders again throughout. Stand up, let me mention this. So President Zelensky's approval rating, remember when Donald Trump tried to demean, all he does is try to demean President Zelensky and prop up Putin. But he said Zelensky's approval rating was at like 4%. Zelensky's approval rating is now closer to 70% as the people of Ukraine have rallied around Zelensky.
Yeah.
President Emmanuel Macron of France, his popularity is seeing a surge. People supporting Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the UK. He showed his statesmanship, bringing people together in the UK, bringing Europe together. The European countries also are all going to be holding a meeting. About 30 countries, European countries and other democracies throughout the world. They are not inviting the United States.
Nope.
Stay away from the U.S. is the message from Europe, Canada, and others. The Greenland Prime Minister, Adam Nook, is saying no to Donald Trump. As Donald Trump makes posts like this, Trump wrote, "As I made clear during my joint address, the United States strongly supports the people of Greenland's right to determine their own future. We will continue to keep you safe, as we have since World War II. We are ready to invest billions of dollars to create new jobs and make you rich. And if you so choose, we welcome you to be part of the greatest nation anywhere in the world, the United States of America." So let me get this straight. As Donald Trump is tanking the United States economy, as Donald Trump is taking away people's Medicaid and health care in the United States, as Elon Musk is calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme, as Trump and Musk are attacking veterans, firing veterans, firing the spouses of veterans, attacking 9/11 first responders, taking out lunches from schools, gutting the Department of Education, gutting the NIH and CDC, as measles is spreading throughout the United States. Donald Trump saying to the people of Greenland, we're going to make you rich. And the people of Greenland are not buying it at all. The Prime Minister of Greenland says the recent things that the American president has done mean that you don't want to get as close to the U.S. as you might have wanted in the past. We need to draw a line in the sand and spend more effort on those countries that show us respect for the future we want to draw. Right? Very similar to the statements by President Claudia Sheinbaum as well. Respect, sovereignty, stand up to this bully regime. And what Donald Trump thought that all of these world leaders and nations would just fold like these spineless Republicans did to his bullying tactics. No, Donald Trump, the rest of the world and lots of Americans are not like these spineless MAGAs who are like the kind of North Korea politicians who clap for dear leader Kim Jong-un. Real strength is often exercised in the silence and the reservation of actually using that strength until you got to go over the boards and finally got to go elbow up to knock down a bully. It was once called the big stick policy. You walk soft or speak soft and you carry a big stick. You actually show you can get things done and exercise power, but you do so with discretion. You don't bloviate and whine and complain, but when push comes to shove, when Donald Trump says, oh, hell's going to break loose, I'm going to do this, he blinks like the cornered rat that he is. No offense to cornered rats who, frankly, I think deserve more respect than how Donald Trump's been behaving lately. Let's just take a look at some people in Greenland. This is from AFP News Agency. They do a good job here highlighting some of the people in Greenland discovering their national pride. Play this clip.
The way that Trump has put us into a world context has very much spoken into my personal understanding of my national identity. More now than ever am I sure of who I am, and I'm definitely not American.
This one's from the Associated Press of Greenlanders who have been in the spotlight since Donald Trump keeps on attacking them and saying he wants to annex them, and they're saying, no, we don't want Donald Trump and the U.S. taking this over. Play this clip.
I'm here in Nuuk, the capital of Greenland, because the world's largest island has received global attention more than ever before. This is because Donald Trump has said that it would seize it and has not ruled out seizing it by force. Greenlanders, the majority of them, are ignorant, and they feel that their traditions must be respected. They do not want to be Danish. They do not want to be American. They want to be Greenlandic.
He will never ever buy Greenland. But then when his son arrived here, it was like a realization moment. The words are no longer just words. They are now the reality. It's like the biggest awakening for everyone in Greenland.
The most important thing for Greenland and for the whole world is not to militarize the Arctic like the US is trying to do. What we need is to protect Greenland.
And really, I mean, just think about the conduct and behavior by the authoritarian Trump regime and its authoritarian stooges. You've got Elon Musk calling Democratic Congress member Mark Kelly, a veteran Air Force pilot, an astronaut, someone who's given his military service to the United States, because Senator Mark Kelly said, just left Ukraine. What I saw proved to me we can't give up on the Ukrainian people. Elon Musk responds, you're a traitor. To which Democratic Senator Mark Kelly says, Elon, if you don't understand that defending freedom is a basic tenet of what makes America great and keeps us safe, maybe you should leave it to those of us who do. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio saying that Ukraine must give up its territory in any peace deal with Russia. Quote, there's no military solution. U.S. must be ready to make difficult concessions, just as Russia must, as retired General Ben Hodges, a friend of the Midas Touch Network, writes, Dear Secretary Rubio, of course there's a military solution, especially when combined with economic pressure, but you haven't even tried. In fact, this administration is doing the opposite, giving all of the cards to Russia. As Jay in Key, really love his account. He covers everything, all the developments very diligently there. He writes, now that Trump removed Ukraine's intelligence feeds in the Kursk region, Russians are going all out trying to genocide Ukrainians and kill Ukrainians. Plan seems to have been that Trump was going to deliver that region to Putin. Russian forces are intensifying.
Called it. But no, Trump doesn't have ties with Russia. I said this shit.
Their offensive in the Kursk region, forcing Ukrainian troops to retreat while targeting bridges in and around Sudzha. The U.S. has restricted Ukraine's free access to Maxar satellite imagery. Russia double-tap strike on these areas as a result of Trump's cowardice and Trump allowing Russia to do this. As Jane Keeve writes, Trump's job for Putin was total destruction of the U.S., its trade alliances, credibility, defense industry, defense alliances, financial markets, and hand him Ukraine. He's doing all of them, and some Americans still can't face it. Until you face it, you can't stop it. This from the Kyiv Post. New intel shows Russian officials believe the U.S. has already agreed to all of Kremlin's demands about turning over Ukraine to Moscow and stopping Ukraine from ever joining NATO. And meanwhile, you have Elon Musk going on Fox and blaming Ukraine for the hack on X, formerly Twitter, which there's absolutely no evidence about, which, as Jane Keefe points out, the old fascists needed a reason to turn off Ukraine's Starlinks for Putin. And here it is. Play this clip.
Position, what are you doing in the government? There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced. It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Well, so that's your suspicion. Is the website?
As Matthew Iglesias, great reporter, writes, the real origin of the Ukraine war is that the runaway success of Poland's economy is a clear formula that Ukraine wanted to imitate by launching the process of joining the European Union, an outcome Putin deemed intolerable. Look at the latest IMF World Economic Outlook of Poland overtaking the Japanese GDP per capita next year. And also, I think it's important to note as well that a lot of the economic forecasters now actually predict European growth in 2026 and 2027, while America crashes.
Yep.
Why? One reason. Donald Trump. I guess two reasons. Elon Musk. I guess three reasons. Spineless MAGA Republicans. I guess four reasons. Fox Propaganda Network. That's what's going on. Europe's growing. Other world economies are actually doing great. America's economy is crashing because no one wants to do business with these idiot maniac Trump regime people. It's ridiculous. So the world is united in different ways, rallying their people against Trump. That's what we're seeing. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Let's try to get there this month. It's free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So
Yeehaw.
as the economy goes, so goes Fox. I mean, Fox is quite literally collapsing before our eyes. Watch what went down last night when Sean Hannity brought on Lara Trump, who says people need to be kissing the feet of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. They need to kiss the feet. Here, play this clip.
We cannot survive as a country. So people ought to be kissing the feet of Elon Musk and Donald Trump for being the two people to actually do this.
Kiss the feet? What the hell are we even talking about here? They've gone to the feet-kissing stage of recession, Great Recession, and depression. Kiss their feet for what they're giving you! What the hell hell is going on here? Here, Lara Trump says, look, everybody needs to support Elon. Please. He's got more money than he knows what to do with, but give him your support, please. Here, watch this.
Give him your
People
money,
start to
but he doesn't need
realize
it.
what they're attempting to do to Elon. I hope to see that happen as well. I hope everyone goes out and supports him. And look, this guy's got more money than he's ever going to know what to do with, but it's the gesture, to your point. We should say thank you to Elon Musk for taking his time, for taking the abuse. He doesn't need any of it, and that's the part that I think is so amazing. Yeah.
My friend Brian Tyler Cohen says, we should say thank you to the guy who's cutting cancer research funding, the agency that protects consumers from predatory banks and finds ways to give himself and billionaires and other billionaires more money. That's who we should be kissing their feet and saying thank you to.
And we listen to that episode here on our newscast. That is not, remember, that's exactly what Tyler said. And he's spot on. Why the hell should we be kissing their feet? Why in the flying fuck? I'm not gonna kiss the asshole of the fucking nasty ass pig that's creating shit. Hell no.
So then Sean Hannity almost quite literally then kisses Elon Musk's feet on air. And Sean Hannity says, look, I know Elon's struggling right now. His stock is absolutely taking. I need to help him. I need to support him. I'm going to go buy a Tesla because Elon needs our support now more than ever. This great guy. Here, play this clip.
And by the way, you know what? I hate what they're doing to this guy. I'm going to go out. A friend of mine has a Tesla.
Fucking
I've driven it. I loved it. It's a great car. And I just frankly want to support someone who's given up an awful lot to help our president, help our country, save us a ton of money, and get us on the right track.
What are we even watching here? How is this even real life and on television? This is the strangest stuff imaginable here. And then Sean Hannity keeps on talking about this during the show. He brings on Newt Gingrich, and he says to Newt Gingrich as part of their interview, again, as the markets are tanking, Hannity goes, hey, Newt, if you're very nice to me, I'm going to let you drive my new Tesla that I got. And Newt Gingrich is like, maybe you should have got a Cybertruck, because it seems like Cybertrucks would suit you. Here, play this clip.
Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, if you're nice to me, I'll let you drive my new Tesla.
I'm with her. I think a Cybertruck would really have been you. You could have put Sean on the side of it.
Oh, is that what I should put? So that I become the target. Thank you very much. I just like fast cars. What can I tell you? But all right, so
and then Larry Trump comes back on,
So
and then Larry
the target.
Trump
Thank you.
says, you know what? You need to buy Trump stuff. I know the markets are tanking, yes, but the Trump brand never been hotter. Have y'all heard Apprentice seasons 1 through 7 just picked up on Amazon Prime? Did you hear about the deal that Donald made? It's a true story. Donald made a deal with Jeff Bezos, who picked up Apprentice seasons 1 through 7. Who knows how much Bezos paid him for that? Probably tens of millions of dollars. Here's what Larry Trump has to say. Let's play it.
And you know, what's happened with Donald Trump is it's never been hotter to get your hands on anything Trump. All the Trump properties are doing fantastically. You know, Trump shoes, you can't get a pair of them even if you try.
And you're probably saying, Ben, is Hannity done on this episode talking about how great he thinks Elon is and how sad we should all feel that Elon stock is tanking as Elon takes away people's Medicaid, attacks people's Social Security, gains access to our private documents, destroys the lives of veterans, goes after...
The fact you're saying this, Ben, tells me there is.
9/11 first responders, destroys our national parks, destroys the NIH and CDC, as measles spread throughout the country, as planes seem to be crashing everywhere. We need to feel bad for poor Elon. That's what they're telling us here. Watch this.
Elon Musk is leading Doge, you know, and he's losing money in the process. He's not doing this to make money. He's losing it. And you can see now, you know, all these attacks have led to the demonization of him, and it's hurting his business. and his important.
Losing money. No, I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I'm pretty sure you're spending it. Spending it's not losing it, dude. There's quite the difference there. Someone like you might not know the difference.
What worked for the Trump administration is bad for business, and Tesla's stock is down. His companies and products are under constant attack, all because he is daring to expose waste, fraud, abuse, and auditing the federal government.
So that was what went down on Hannity. Then before Hannity, you had Jesse Waters. Same theme, right? They get their talking points, and their talking points last night was, Elon is sad. You need to be nice to Elon, okay, everybody? Today is Elon Appreciation Day. As Elon destroys tens of millions or hundreds of millions of Americans' people's lives, let's bring on Alina Habba, and Alina Habba will say, this is an incredible man, Elon. He's the most incredible. He's running the show. He's the best. Here, play this clip.
There's just so much to go into. I don't even know where to start. But who would you want running your country, Jesse? You want to get advice from Stacey Abrams and Joe Biden, who evidently signed everything with an auto signature, didn't even know what he was signing? Or do you want Elon Musk to help the commander-in-chief, and there's only one, President Donald Trump, cut waste and make us money? The man is a self-made billionaire. He ran an amazing company. He will run this country that way. So, I mean, look, the proof is in the pudding right there.
One of the things that I find funny, I guess it's my own gallows humor, though, is where Laura...
Biden and his auto signature. Because an auto signature doesn't mean he didn't read it over. It means he didn't sit there and scribble it every time. Because you can do the same damn thing when you're writing down there. You just go, and don't fucking read it. You can't tell me, no, sorry. That's very much doable either way. And for as much as they like to bitch about Biden, Biden got shit done. Biden spoke softly and carried a big stick. He was just pacifist when it comes to political back and forth. At least till he got out of office. Then we got to hear some of it. That was nice, and a lot of us wished he did that while he was in office. Oh yeah, some of the shit afterwards. It was great. Actually saying everything he thought about Trump without censors. I was like, oh, thank you. We've been waiting for that.
Brett Ingraham, one of the chief propagandists.
That's exactly what we've been waiting for.
She struggles and she tries to teach Trump because she knows he's watching like he's like a little baby. And so here she is with Maria Bartiromo, and they're trying to teach Trump. They're like, we really don't understand what's this Canada and Mexico thing about these tariffs? I don't really get it. I don't really get it. Here, watch this.
Yeah, and Maria, I think again that everyone knows I'm very pro-tariff. Okay, I loved how he rolled out the China tariffs in the first term, but remember it was handled a little bit differently because they did that 302 study, not to get too wonky, and they really presented a compendium of evidence as to why China needed to be brought to heel. Anti-dumping provisions, but they laid it out in excruciating but very compelling detail. So it really made a lot of sense. I think with the fentanyl tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and then China gets only 10%, then we're doing a summit with China. I think that people can't
process that. And I still have not heard a very clear explanation for why, as a fentanyl matter, that makes sense.
I told you that was a good one. Then they have on, though, MAGA Republican Congress member Hudson, who runs the Republican Congressional Campaign Committee. He's the one who kind of organizes those town halls for the Republican candidates who have base and the Republican Congress members who are no longer doing their town halls because their constituents, Republicans, independents, and Democrats, but we're talking about in ruby red areas where these MAGA Republicans are not doing town halls because their people are pissed that they've destroyed the federal government, they've taken away their Medicaid, they're firing, 10,000 people from the Social Security Administration, shutting down Social Security Administration offices, cutting 60,000, 70,000 people from the VA, firing all of these veterans, dismantling the government. So this is what the MAGA talking point was yesterday and now today. It's that Democrats are a threat to democracy. Democrats are there, and they're somehow threatening democracy at town halls. Here, play this clip.
Welcome, Mr. Chairman. We've seen a lot of dangerous threats against Republicans in particular over the course of the last couple of years, and now Democrats are treating these raucous town halls and making fun of the fact that you're trying to keep members safe. What is your response to them?
Well, Katie, great to be with you. What I told my colleagues last week was that now more than ever, we need to be in our communities communicating with our constituents. President Trump is moving so fast, keeping his promises. We're about to pass a reconciliation package that's going to bring real change to America. So we need to be talking to our constituents about it. We need to be answering their questions. We need to be very visible. Unfortunately, the Democrats are paying people to hijack these in-person town hall meetings. They're a threat to democracy, to borrow a phrase, because they're blocking that communication we want to have with our constituents. So what I encourage my colleagues to do is use technology to reach your constituents, things like telephone town halls, Facebook Live, go visit businesses, visit schools, visit communities where you can have these kind of dialogue without these paid protesters coming in and disrupting.
So as part of Elon Musk Appreciation Day, or whatever the hell was happening yesterday too, they actually had Elon Musk on with Larry Kudlow. Larry Kudlow is part of the Trump-Fox revolving door, work in the Trump administration, then you get a job on Fox, have a job on Fox, become Secretary of Defense in the Trump administration. Family member of Donald Trump, like Larry Trump, get a job on Fox. That's the revolving door. And then the Trump administration, or I should say the Trump regime, then buys, $50 million, $100 million worth of ads in English on Fox so that Kristi Noem can do her, cosplay dress-up outfits. And they can give that money to Fox for positive coverage. It seems, at least in my opinion, that that's what they're doing. And then they say, hey, migrants, go back home, go back home. And that's part of their $100 million ad campaign. As they're cutting the jobs of veterans, they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on that on Fox. Anyway, Larry Kudlow interviewed Elon Musk, that's the point. And Elon Musk blamed the fact that X, formerly Twitter, was hacked on the Ukrainians. It's the Ukrainians' fault. Here's what Larry Kudlow has to say.
Larry, really quickly, X was, I guess, the cyber attack on X, Elon Musk's property. Talk about that, where it's coming from.
Yes, Elon was very clear. I asked him about that. I asked him if it was a foreign source. He was very clear. He said Ukraine. He said Ukraine without any question.
Wow. Well, that's interesting, too. Larry,
and here's Elon Musk saying, Larry Kudlow, so you can hear for yourself. So Elon Musk's been repeatedly, though, when he called Senator Kelly from Arizona a traitor, because Senator Kelly visited Ukraine and said that people need to help Ukraine. Also, Elon Musk said America needs to withdraw from NATO. He's constantly he attacked the foreign minister of Poland. And notice the language that Musk uses here. He goes, I think we're not really sure, but I think the hack happened around the Ukraine area, where? Russia? Around the Ukraine area? You're saying that in Russia, they did it. I think it was a pro-Palestinian Russian group that did it, or a group that was, that identified as such on social media. But they have no clue who did this. They're blaming it on Ukrainians. Here, play this clip.
Position. What are you doing in the government? There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced. It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Here's Harrison Faulkner on a segment on MSNBC, referring to a segment on MSNBC, and she's like, look, these people, they're rooting for the economy to do bad. They're rooting for the economy to do bad.
So the question that I have, and the liberal network that, look, and never by the grace of God could go anybody, but right now they're failing miserably and firing their people, so I couldn't be all wrong on that. But why would you wish for the death of the American economy? Why would you be against Americans? I don't think this is new. This is like when we saw the big crop up of anti-Semitism in this country last year. Where do you think it lived? Right next door. So these people who hold these views against America, this isn't like some rash that just came on. No, this is an infectious thing that's been around for a long time, and this is how they really feel. So think about that when they try to get you to vote for them, or as Michael Steele tries to convince you that he's in government. Think about that. He's a talk show host.
Right. Doesn't it give these vibes right here? Kind of the pink lady vibes right there. It's beyond strange. Oh, and then you have Tommy Tuberville goes on Larry Kudlow, and he goes, I don't think the president needs to be concerned about the markets. No, I wouldn't be concerned about the markets.
At the moment, the stock market seems to be in full-fledged revolt about that. Now, I have not spoken to the president. I don't know if he's watching the stock market about this or not. He paused the Canadian and the Mexican tariffs. But do you think there's an issue here? Do you think there's a messaging problem here? Do you think there's so much uncertainty? What do you think about this story?
Well, first of all, I don't think President Trump needs to be concerned about it. He doesn't need to look at it. He's our only chance, Larry. We're leaking oil. This country is leaking oil. We're leaking money. 4 years I've been here, it's been going out the door. We've found out now where a lot of the money's going. We'll continue to find that out. But again, at the end of the day, President Trump has told people there's going to be a little bit of pain with this, and there is. That's fine. The stock market's gone up and down before. It'll come back. But when we start doing these tariffs somewhere around the 1st of April, where everybody's got to be on the same level, I think it'll start leveling out, and we'll build the country back. We have no chance unless he does tariffs and holds people accountable to what's been going on.
I mean, there you have it, folks. What the hell was that? Let me know what you think. And subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at
Well, that's what we have for now. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. I might do a press back out. If I don't decide, well, no, I'll be back one way or the other. Till then, take it easy.